Welcome. Today is March 18th, 2022. I am broadcasting from Eastern Standard Time, and we are on the other side of this huge full moon. So, the full moon occurred at 27 Pisces, and it involved a sextile to Pluto at 28 degrees Capricorn. This full moon has a significant full of portent and a significant message that comes with it, and it's all about endings. Now, if you're watching this video, one, the good news is we're still here. So, nuclear rain has not fallen from the sky. Count your blessings. The other is it may be a little confusing because often when we think about major planetary movements or like the end of epochs or the end of great things, we tend to think of very dramatic Hollywood endings. But bear with me and search your memory for a second. Think about all of the major corners that you've turned in your life and all of the major event changes, circumstance changes, turns of life that you've been through. There may or may not have been a dramatic crescendo climax that announced the ending of something major in your life. More often than not, there was a symbolic event that was after a slow rolling tide of circumstances and behaviors and actions and little things that kind of built up and built up and built up that brought you to that place where you had this aha moment where you're like, oh, damn, well, I guess we're never going back that way again. So we're kind of here now. Now, the thing about it is the situation in Ukraine, which has everybody on fingernails and toes at the ready, is still happening. This is still an issue. Anytime you mention the word nuclear bomb, it is now a global problem. We don't care what your previous affiliations or alliances were. The threat of nuclear war, which literally means the end of the world, period, the end of an inhabitable world, it becomes a global issue because there's not a single one of us on the planet that will be safe from it. We will literally destroy the world as we know it, and it will never be inhabitable again. Okay, this is big. This is big. So the one it would appear, and obviously I'm not a geopolitical expert here, so you're welcome to chime in and correct any inaccuracies for the rest of us. Make sure you include your citations. But it would appear that the one of the greatest global threats in terms of nuclear warfare would have been Russia. And we seem to, at this particular moment, have bypassed that. Now, we still have a madman at the helm, right? Now, we still have the little yappy barking dog, doing what they got to do to protect their people. I'm not saying anything bad about that. But at the same time, the combination of the two going at each other across fence is not a positive prospect in terms of peaceful resolutions. But we're still here. We are still here. And the more important thing, and I want you guys to look at this, right? The more important thing is, if you watch, there's been and just not only has this happened extremely rapidly, but also there's been a dissolution or a dissolving support as people have pulled away, backed away, retreated, and basically abandoned ship at every turn and corner when it comes to being involved with, participating, or supporting a group or an individual that is literally threatening the destruction of the world for, whatever reasons. I mean, there are no good reasons to destroy the world, so we're not going to get into semantics about that. But if you watch, the tables have turned. And it's not about the tables turning against an individual. And this is the thing I want you guys to consider, right? This is not about the tables turning on an individual. This is about the tables turning in terms of our growth and development and evolution as humankind. Right? We have turned, I could cry. We have officially turned that corner. And it's been building. It's been building and building and building and building. And we're here. And we're here. Some people aren't going to get it. Some people, you just, like literally, as a girlfriend of mine used to say, boy, the harder the head, the softer the ass. So some people really do need to learn the hard way, as it were. And that's okay, because when it comes down to the rest of us, the whole of humanity has turned a very important corner in terms of our consciousness, and it's showing. So, that I want you guys to kind of take a second look at and understand the magnificence and the magnitude of where we're at right now. Now, the other thing on a very personal level, some of you may have found yourselves seeing the end of cycles or just coming to the conclusion of matters. And the more important thing is these are things that have been going on for a very long time, and it probably needed to end a long time ago. So you may find that the same thing is happening there, where the stronghold of people who had a stranglehold, on parts of your life that were not positive or supportive or, good for you in any way has come to a final conclusion and just a final dissolution. Their strength and power in the situation is dissolved, and, this is where everything's at right now. You may not necessarily see anything implemented until probably later today or tomorrow. Now remember, I'm on Eastern time, so New York time, so adjust time zones accordingly. But in the next 48 hours, you should see some actual physical manifestations indicating that the corner has been turned and you are now on a brand new trajectory and the old way of doing things is done. So that's a powerful, positive thing. So for the next 24 to 48 hours, wherever you're at, whatever you're dealing with in your life around you, and certainly this goes for people who don't have internet access right now, and are really in the soup, as it were. Again, as always, keep your mind right. But more importantly, at this time moving forward, understand that we've literally turned the corner. We have turned the corner on this thing, and we are heading into much better places as a whole in humanity. So we need to keep that momentum up, not only in our meta consciousness where it comes to everyone, but also in our personal lives. So keep your eye on the prize, look forward, look to be the best possible version of yourself from a very human standpoint. Because if we've learned nothing in the last 10 years, right, with crystal clarity, we've had the living embodiments of the moral truth or the principle that having money and status does not make you a better person. You don't even have to be a better person to have those things. Then the very fiber of your character determines who you are. Okay, and the very fiber of your character has nothing to do with how much money you have in the bank or don't have. It has nothing to do with having a high prestige or high status job or position or don't have. None of those things qualify or define you as a person. Your character and your nature, your kindness and your goodness, right? Those are the things that define you as a person. And in the last 5 or 6 years alone here in the United States, we've come front, center, and face to face with that truism, that maxim. So right now, I want you guys to kind of keep that in the back of your mind, and no matter what you're struggling with, no matter what you have or what you've lost, that doesn't define you. Your character defines you. And if you don't take anything else away from this channel, I want you to remember this always. It's the struggle that makes you stronger, because the struggle is what makes you strong, and strength is what makes you beautiful. Strong hearts, strong minds, strong character, and strong bodies. All right, so onward and upward. We got a lot of cleanup to do in aisle 5 over there in Eastern Europe. Not out of the woods yet, but we are well past the danger zone. So now it's just a matter of getting the last little bits of hard to remove stuff off the pan and getting it out of there, right? So that we can clean up, start fresh, and start over. You guys have a great week. Bye.